If your schedule is inconsistent, let me just share it is not your fault. And also, I want you to be really careful that you don't follow generic business advice out there when there's something really specific you need to do. My name is Meghan Walker. I'm the chief cheerleader at Clinician Business Labs and a former naturopathic doctor. And let me tell you what I used to do. I used to sit in front of what started as an appointment book and then moved online and literally count out how many patients I had and how many more I needed to get in order to cover my overhead each month. This idea of having an inconsistent flow in your clinic schedule is extremely painful and stressful. So let's figure it out. So when it comes to why people are maybe watching your content, but not necessarily booking, there's a few different areas that we need to focus on. So let's start by drawing out a triangle of where we're actually encountering some core problems. And we're gonna start right here off to the side. And what you're gonna find is we're actually gonna be able to go around this triangle in a nice cycle or system. I guess I should turn it into a wheel because triangles don't roll well, but let's get started. The first thing that we need to address if we're going to bring more people into your practice and where we need to start is we need to get clarity on your offer. Your offer is likely too vague. And the challenge is when we're talking about your offer is that for most people, and we understand this, we went to school, we can address every type of condition, and we say, I'm a naturopathic doctor, you should come and book with me, or I'm a functional medicine practitioner, you should set an appointment. The challenge with that is we're putting all the responsibility onto the actual client. We're assuming they know how an hour with us is going to transform their health. And the reality is the average person has no clue. So when we talk about creating specificity in your offer, you need to be able to speak in the language of, I work with blank people to help them achieve X outcome. People will feel seen and they will also appreciate that they know where they are being taken. So your offer needs to be specific. And for an offer to be specific, we know who it's for and the outcome that we are delivering. Once we're clear on those two pieces, it allows us to move on to step number 2. And step number 2 is about ensuring that we are selling the next step. So when I say next step, there's a few different ways that I'm addressing this. And generally speaking, we're not great at either one. We need to look at next steps in our marketing, meaning when we post something on Instagram or we're speaking live in front of a group, or even if we're recording our very first YouTube video, make sure you like and subscribe. We need to remember that we need to provide someone with a call to action after the teaching, after the presentation, after the interaction. We can't just leave it with, well, that was great, give me a ring if you need me. We need to actually guide them and prompt them on where they need to go next. So this might be booking, or in the case of your clinical practice, this is about actually outlining where we're gonna go next with their care. You see, our systems of medicine are sufficiently different than how the average healthcare consumer has been trained. They've been trained to go to the doctor or go to the practitioner when they're unwell, take the treatment, wait till they feel better, and then they may or may not need to come back. What we're deploying, what we're delivering is an entirely different system of medicine, and ensuring that we're constantly communicating next steps means that we're actually training our clients in our system of care. Now, we need to be able to start by having a clear offer. We need to be able to communicate where we're going with respect to next steps. And the third piece that we need to focus on is we need to make sure that we are marketing all of these pieces consistently. Marketing these pieces consistently means that we actually have a system in place to drive new traffic, new people through the door. And so we have a few components to this. We have traffic that needs to come through the door, and we have a strategy to nurture the people who are already sitting within our ecosystem. When we nurture existing people and when we drive traffic through the door and we're consistent in speaking to next steps, we complete our circle, because our call to action will always bring them back to, if you are this person with this problem, let's work together to solve this outcome, and here's how we're going to make it happen. When we start to put these 3 consistent pieces into play, both in how we are delivering care and in how we're sharing what we do, it leads to so much more success immediately at driving people through the door. So with respect to the marketing piece, let's turn this into something that's actionable for you and not an esoteric idea. So if we're going to start to grow out your marketing, what we need to do is we need to establish a marketing habit. If we're not doing it consistently, we're never going to get the results. So here's what I want you to do, and you're going to choose between these daily. 1, I want you to consider posting a new piece of content. This could be to Instagram, it could be to YouTube, it could be whatever channel is your primary area of viewership for your practice and for the outcome that you deliver to your patients. Alternatively, you could look at sending an email. Email consistently is still the thing that we know is going to drive the most number of patients through the door. So post 1 thing per day, or we can send an email, at least once per week. We can practice making an offer. Making an offer is something that can happen in your social media. It can happen inside your email. It can happen when you're at a dinner party with the people down the street. Gently inviting people into the next step is something that needs to be practiced. The more you do it, the easier it's going to be. And lastly, for bonus points, when it comes to these consistency pieces, we can ask for something as simple as a testimonial. Testimonials can end up being systematized within your business, or they can be something that we practice asking patients after they visit us 1, 2, or 3 times. When we practice engaging in delivering one of these items on a daily basis, we can't help but start to see our practice grow over time. If you want a little bit more help in clarifying your offer and the adjacent marketing pieces that are going to help to grow your practice, grab the link below for our custom GPT that will help to outline all of your next steps in the most strategic way possible.